He cheated on my sister, got his mistress pregnant, stole the house in the divorce, and thought he won. 3 years later, he was sitting alone in a cheap apartment, divorced again, paying alimony, and still has absolutely no idea who destroyed his second marriage. And the best part? He did it to himself. If you've ever watched someone hurt someone you love and wished karma would just hurry up already, this story is going to hit deep. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and settle in, because this might be one of the most satisfying, calculated revenge stories you'll hear all year. I've always believed that heartbreak hits harder when it happens to someone you love. When my sister called me that night, her voice didn't even sound like hers. It was hollow, like the air had been sucked out of her lungs. "I think he's cheating," she whispered. Not crying, not yelling, just broken. Her husband, let's call him Mark, had been married to her for 7 years. They had built a life together, a house, shared friends, traditions, plans for kids, and apparently he built something else too, with one of her friends. You know that specific kind of betrayal? The one where it's not just the marriage that's fake, but the friendships too? The dinners, the vacations, the inside jokes? Yeah, that kind. She found out in the worst way possible. Phone buzzing at midnight, a message preview popping up, something flirty, something unmistakable. When she confronted him, he didn't even deny it. No remorse, no tears, no desperate apologies, just a cold, exhausted sigh like he'd been inconvenienced. And then the bomb dropped. The mistress was pregnant, while he was still married. I remember sitting across from my sister at my kitchen table while she stared at the divorce papers weeks later. Her hands were shaking so badly she had to set the pen down twice. She kept saying the same thing. "I don't understand how someone can just switch off like that." But it got worse. Mark didn't just leave her. He went to war. Somehow, through legal maneuvering and financial gymnastics, he managed to walk away with most of the money and the house. The house she helped pay for. The house she decorated. The house she thought she'd raise kids in. Watching her pack up boxes in that living room felt like attending a funeral, except the person in the coffin was her future. He married the mistress within a year. New baby, new wife, same smug smile. And my sister, she moved into a small rental apartment and started over from scratch. I've never felt rage like that before. Not loud rage, the quiet kind, the kind that simmers. Time did what time does. She healed. Slowly, she started dating again, picked up hobbies, built a new circle of friends, real ones. Meanwhile, Mark seemed to be thriving. Pictures on social media, family vacations, smug anniversary posts. The kind of man who thinks he upgraded his life. But here's the thing about people like Mark. They don't change. They just change victims. A few years later, my sister was cleaning up old email accounts on her laptop, deleting junk, unsubscribing from newsletters, trying to simplify her digital life. And that's when she noticed something. She still had access to Mark's old email account. He'd never removed it from her computer. Out of curiosity and maybe a little harmless nosiness, she logged in. And there it was. An automated email notification. Your Ashley Madison account is now active. If you don't remember, Ashley Madison is a site specifically for married people looking to cheat. Let that sink in. The man who cheated on his wife, left her for his pregnant mistress, married that mistress, was now actively looking to cheat again? I'll never forget the tone in my sister's voice when she told me. It wasn't angry. It was amused. That's when I knew the power dynamic had shifted. Revenge doesn't always start with fireworks. Sometimes it starts with a sentence. What if? I don't know if it was the protective big sibling instinct in me or just years of watching him get away with everything, but something clicked. What if karma needed a little assistance? I created a fake account. Profile picture? Attractive but believable. Location? His city. Bio? Married woman. Bored. Curious. Subtle. I sent him a wink. He responded within hours. Of course he did. The first few messages were cautious. Testing. But it didn't take long. Within days, he was complaining about his wife. She never wants intimacy. She's always tired. I feel trapped. The irony was almost poetic. He destroyed one marriage for passion, and now he was bored. But here's what fascinated me most. He needed validation. He wanted to feel desired, wanted, chosen, and I gave it to him. Carefully, strategically. Every compliment was calculated, every response designed to pull him deeper. Weeks passed, over 100 messages exchanged. He got comfortable, too comfortable. He shared details about his job, his schedule, his frustrations, private things about his marriage that only he could know. He sent long late-night messages pouring out dissatisfaction. I didn't need to push. He volunteered everything. Finally, he suggested meeting. A motel near his house. He described how easy it would be. His wife thought he worked late sometimes. He even suggested a specific room layout. The audacity. We picked a date. He was excited, nervous, overeager. The night came, and of course, no one showed up. I imagined him sitting there, checking his phone, refreshing messages, looking at the door every time footsteps passed. Then, hours later, I sent one final message. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about it. Short, suggestive, damning. Then I printed everything, every message, every complaint about his wife, every admission, every plan. It was thick, heavy, evidence. We mailed it anonymously to his wife's office, not his house, not where he could intercept it, her office, because that's where people can't hide. That's where reputations crack. That's where truth explodes. I imagine her opening that envelope, reading line after line, seeing her husband's words, the graphic plans, the insults about her, the proof. There's a specific kind of silence that follows betrayal. I'm sure she felt it. Within days, he exploded. Angry messages flooded my fake account. Did you send this? What the hell is wrong with you? You ruined my life. I stayed calm. I spun a story, told him my husband must have hacked my account, that he must have found the messages and sent them. I apologized, acted scared, acted confused, and he believed me, because men like Mark always believe they're smarter than everyone else. His wife didn't believe his excuses. She left, and this time, she played it smarter. She got the house, full custody of their child, alimony, everything my sister lost. He moved into a cramped apartment. No more family photos, no more vacation posts, no more smug smiles, just silence. The most satisfying part? He still doesn't know. Years later, he has no idea who orchestrated it. No idea the woman he betrayed so carelessly had a sibling watching, waiting. And when my sister found out the outcome, she didn't laugh, she didn't gloat. She just leaned back in her chair and said quietly, "Well, I guess people don't really change." And there it was. Not revenge fueled by hatred, revenge fueled by balance. He took her stability, life took his. I won't lie, when we heard she got the house in custody,
I felt something unclench in my chest, like a knot that had been there for years finally loosened. It wasn't about destruction, it was about restoration. Watching someone who weaponized betrayal finally choke on it, that's a rare kind of closure. And he still walks around thinking he was unlucky, not exposed. Unlucky. That might be my favorite part. Sometimes karma doesn't roar. Sometimes it whispers. And sometimes it needs a little nudge. The truth is, he didn't ruin his life because of me. He ruined it because he never stopped being who he was. All I did was hold up a mirror.
If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Do you think this was justified or too far? And if you love stories where justice actually gets served, make sure you subscribe, because around here, karma always finds a way. See you in the next one.